Welcome to Decades of Horror, the classic era.
His curse is on all of us, but one of these times will arrive in time to drive a stake through his heart.
This is episode 230, in which we discuss The Vampire and the Ballerina from 1960. Today is June 7th, 2026.
Gruesome Magazine.
My name is Jeff Moore. On this podcast, we cover the good, the bad, maybe even the ugly horror films released since the beginning of time through 1969. In each episode, we'll discuss the monster, spirit, psychos, and villains that have haunted movie-going audiences since, I gotta take a breath, the dawn of film history. With me this week are my incredible co-hosts. First up is Daphne. How you doing, Daphne?
Hi, I'm doing really good. I'm excited to see you guys, as always, talk about this movie.
Still awesome, stupendous.
Sorry if I interrupted.
Oh, I just stopped, Don't pay any attention to me. Joining us also is Bill Mulligan, writer, director, and special effects guru, published author, and all-around nice guy.
Summer reading time.
How'd you get so nice, Bill?
30 years of teaching high school.
Patience. He learned patience.
I was going to say my upbringing, but
oh yeah, that too. I was raised well.
Also with us is Doc Rotten.
Yay.
Doc, it's good to have you here. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to this movie. I've been wanting to watch it for some time, and oh boy, it'll be fun.
Strangely enough, I'm looking forward to it too. All right, so this we are partnered with Playdown Media on several of their channels, and in fact, Decades of Horror, the classic era, is on their classic horror movie channel, their classic sci-fi movie channel, and the Wicked Horror TV channel, and a few other assorted, like free channels in those kind of same categories. So anyway, check us out there. You could go there, you could watch for free. You'll get ads and you'll miss some of the premium content, but that would be free, So, or you can subscribe and then you can get rid of the ads and see all the premium content. I would highly recommend just go to their Playdown Media webpage. I think it's it's playdownmedia.com, and check out of the menu on the side about their products, and you will see a list of subgenre channels that you'll just go, oh my God, which one do I start watching? Because there's a ton of great stuff there. So check them out. This is a spoiler podcast. So we are going to spoil the film. You're going to know right off the bat what the hell is going on, who won, who lost, and how they got there. So if you haven't seen this movie, go check it out. It is available. I forget, where did we watch it?
I watched it on Tubi.
It's also on archive.org. A pretty good rendition. It came out on a Blu-ray from I think from Shout Factory a long time ago, but it is unavailable, and it's listed from, I saw $55, I saw $95. So I do not own a Blu-ray of this. Just wanted to make sure you guys knew. So
Yet.
Exactly. Yes.
So we're going to spoil it. So if you haven't seen this, you should go watch it. On this podcast, we start with some basic details of the film we're covering. Then we go into our first impressions and take a look at each of the characters and take off down the road. Talk about the marketing, talk to cast and crew, all that stuff. So are we ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Our movie, which we already told you, is The Vampire and the Ballerina in 1960. There's a picture of the vampire in the requisite silhouetted backlit entrance. It's directed by Renato Polselli, written by Renato Polselli and Giuseppe Pellegrini and Ernesto Gastaldi. Where have we heard that before? The cast includes Elena Rimi, Tina Gloriani, Walter Brandi, Maria Luisa Rolando, Isacco Ravioli, Gino Torini, Pier Ugo Gragnini. Okay. It was filmed in Rome, Italy, at the LUCE Studios, Luce Studios, and Palazzo Borghese, the interiors. Filming dates. It took 3 weeks in late 1959. It was released in Italy on May 23rd, 1960. Released in the U.S. on October 31st, 1962. I think it was more of a one-time showing, but at any rate. Box office. Well, I did see numbers. It received 98 million liras when it was released. So that year, by the end of that release. 98 million liras in 1960 translates to $158,000. $158,000 in 1960 due to inflation would be 1.8 million in 2026 dollars. Not huge, but made money. I think we don't know what the budget was. AKA, I'll see me screw up some international language anyway. L'amante del vampiro, the vampire's lover in Italy. That was the original title. La maîtresse du vampire in French, the vampire's mistress. I almost said mattress, but I don't think that. Die Geliebte des Vampirs in West Germany, the vampire's beloved. And in the U.S., it actually saw release as the vampire's lover as well. The synopsis: a troupe of beautiful young dancers finds itself stranded in a sinister, spooky old castle, unaware that it is home to a group of vampires. There we go. All right. This is Doc's pick.
Oh, no.
Doc goes first. That's our custom and first impressions. We don't always follow our customs, but we try sometimes.
Oh man, I was looking forward to this because I remember the pictures of the lead vampire in the old monster mags, and I may have seen this at some point in the past. How many decades I've been watching movies, but this felt very much like a first watch, and I enjoyed every bit of it. It is very gothic. It's shot extraordinarily well, especially the cinematography at least. And I love the vampire when he's old, even though it's obviously like a mask instead of makeup. But I love it. I just think that's great, and the old hands are. I really enjoyed it, and then there's other vampires that pop in and out briefly sometimes, and I can follow kind of this is the Lucy in this movie, and this is the Van Helsing in this movie. Mm-hmm. But it has some extra stuff, because we had a Baroness and our vampire Herman the vampire. And I had a great time with this. Yes, I did.
Excellent. Thank you, Doc. Next up is Daphne. Had you ever seen this or heard of it before?
No and no.
Oh.
And so I really enjoyed this movie. If I would like to own this, I don't know if I would pay $100, like you said, it's good $50 or $100.
Really? Nice.
But I really enjoyed this movie. Initially, I thought that the dancing was unnecessary. That it was just filler to kind of add some sexuality to the story. However, the longer I sat with it, I really felt like it earned its place. Maybe there's other ways you could have done it, but anyway, perhaps we'll talk about that. I agree that I agree that the cinematography was awesome. The low high angles and the lights and shadows. There's a couple of transitions that I thought were just awesome. It's just really interesting and awesome. And the architecture of the castle, how it kind of followed that low high kind of feel with the camera angles. I just thought all that was really, really good. The Louisa Francesca dynamic, I thought was more interesting than the vampire plot, but I like the vampire plot too. I'm not saying it's better. I just thought that it was really interesting, and then the vampire relationship was interesting too, and that it was kind of murky. Like I didn't know what was going on with their relationship. Like, was she a vampire too, or was he just feeding off of her? So I was kind of like, is this some like troubling power dynamic marriage or something or what? But it wasn't good. But I really, really liked the Countess or the Baroness or whoever she was. And there were some things that were in it that I didn't think was necessary, but I don't know, maybe they were supposed to be edited out, or maybe, even if it doesn't matter. It was still fun, even if you have to kind of accept that some stuff didn't make sense. Like the uncle, I wasn't sure why the uncle was in there, but at first I thought maybe it was a red herring. But overall, I love this movie, and I definitely want to see it again because I just thought there were some really cool things in it, and maybe sometimes I worry that Bill will tease me and accuse me of writing a film school essay or writing something that would go into a film school essay, which is fair, but I just saw a lot of really cool things in this movie, so hopefully we'll be able to talk about them.
Excellent.
We absolutely will. Thank you,
We'll
Daphne.
talk, right?
And now it's time for Bill.
You don't ever need to worry about me making fun of you about liking a movie, because I like this too. And I had never seen this. Now I had heard of it because famous Monsters of Filmland would show pictures from it. And it was like, boy, that's an ugly looking vampire. and I was intrigued by it. But much like Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory and Playgirls and the Vampire, never, ever, ever got shown. And I would stay up late to see it. I would have watched it. And I would have enjoyed it then because I love the Gothics. I like the Hammer-esque vampire movies, of which this is definitely one. It's got great cinematography. None of the characters are super irritating. Even the dance stuff I thought was going to be pretty silly. And it is pretty silly if you're looking for ballet, but it was fine. It was fine. But they just can't help but have cool looking sets and cinematography. It's just so cool to set it at that time. So I really enjoyed it. Plus there was some interesting, different kind of vampire mythology. I mean, we got the tropes, they're afraid of the cross and sunlight makes them turn into really silly looking decay effects, which we'll show those pictures. That's whether you're Hammer or these guys, the idea of the vampires disintegrating into dust is cool. But there comes a point where you gotta stop, because then you just have these silly looking expressions and the eyes poking out. I don't care if it's Christopher Lee or this movie, they look pretty bad. But I did actually kind of like that disintegration effect. So yeah, this is just a lot of fun, very obscure. It's saw it on Tubi. You can see almost everything on Tubi now.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for picking this, because I'd heard about it and always wanted to see it, but never really thought about it much. So I was like, when I saw you picked it, it's like, finally we'll get to see what this was all about. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but no, this was solid.
Oakley dokley. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought Daphne. God, what did you ever do?
No. I wasn't.
You're here.
I was trying to make a joke about it
because
sometimes some of the stuff I was getting from this movie, it was like, oh geez, really, you're going to interpret that way, like that kind of a stuff.
Okay. Gotcha.
I never feel. I'm never
no.
worried about any of that other stuff. You guys are awesome. Yeah. No.
I think
Forget I said anything.
We all fit together because we bring out different things about a movie. So. And
I agree.
I like this movie. Like the cinematography. I don't know that I have anything new to say from what you guys are saying without diving in a little deeper, which we can leave to later, I guess. It's a fun movie. There's a few sort of unintentionally comical parts, but I noticed that, like for instance, this is odd. There's a quote listed in IMDb that says it's from Giorgio, and then in the movie, there's the guy. Is that the uncle that tells them that they should be wearing garlic and crosses and stuff? Yeah, that's who actually says that line. And it's a little bit different. So I don't know if Giorgio says it later and changes it a little bit, or if it's one of those dubbing things and people couldn't figure out who they were. By the way, we have the names of like the 7 lead characters in this movie, but we have no idea who the rest of them are. You'd have to go through and try to match the pictures, which 66 years after the fact is kind of difficult, but because they don't list what parts they played anywhere. So, you know what? Let's just talk, because we all like the movie.
I do want to mention, since you mentioned cinematography and locations, one of the things that really impressed me is the location for the castle. The whole castle looked fantastic. But what I like the most about it, which is silly, but what I like the most about it is you walk up to the castle, you open the big door, and you got to go up more steps. It's not like it doesn't go into a thing. It goes straight to more steps.
Right.
And I was like, now that's a way. That's a way.
Yeah, it's like that. But then how would you lure someone into the castle and then have a door to open to look in to see if they made it to the next one?
I don't know. I just thought that was the most fascinating thing.
Yeah. That castle was awesome.
That castle was great.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's great. And also, when you see a castle that big, it doesn't bother you when they go down a multitude of different stairways and different rooms without you really knowing where they are. You just go, yeah, it's a big place. I get it.
Yeah.
Well,
I
had a question, I think along the lines of what Daphne said. I mean, so who's the alpha vampire? Because they both said the other one was controlling them.
I have my opinion.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm asking for.
Yeah.
She's the alpha, and he's her minion. And he's not very good at his job.
No,
Even though he killed her at the end? Like he was able to suck her force out?
But she would have turned to dust anyway, right?
I guess that's true because they were outside. Yeah.
It's just now she turned to dust looking ugly. That was his last revenge.
Oh, that makes
I
a lot
agree
more
with you.
sense. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
I agree with you about that it was the Countess Aldo, because at the very end, she's the one that makes a play for Luca to try to convert him. The other guy is just sort of like, yeah, I'm doomed. I can't.
Wow. Yeah, and she always gives him crap.
Yeah.
Throughout the movie, whenever she's talking to him.
Yeah, she does treat him like crap. Yeah.
And like when he wakes her up, she's like, "Get out of here!"
Yeah, it's almost like he walks in the room late again. You know, almost.
You're a monster.
So funny. Is that one of your unintentionally humorous parts there, Bill?
Well, another thing is the title. So, Vampire and Ballerina. We don't see any ballet. At least it doesn't look like ballet to me. It may be some kind of
ballet.
But if you called it, the Vampire and the Chorus Girls, it just wouldn't have the same.
The same thing. You're right.
The same mystique about it. That's the only thing I could think of. I mean,
they were more like jazz.
Yeah, it was more like
interpretive,
Bob
modern.
Yeah, like something on Broadway or something. Yes. It was kind of fun watching them, though.
Little hands behind the back.
They were pretty good dancers, though. They were pretty good dancers.
That was the thing. Yeah. They weren't bad. I mean, usually when you have these dancing scenes, like Cat Girls on the Moon, and it's like, guys, you could have hired some actual dancers.
Yeah.
They were fine.
Well, you mentioned that the vampire, like some of the old vampire movies, it definitely reminded me of Dracula, because they right away pulled out the cross. You know, they had two candelabras or just two sticks or whatever. They just held them up, made a cross, and it totally damaged them. And then
Both of them.
the dying was reminiscent, but the mask is kind of interesting. Did you read about how they made that mask and why it looks so goofy in the dissolve screen?
No, I'm dying.
They put a layer of ash between the outer rubber and the plastic mold to their face. So when it starts to melt on the outside,
now that part was
thought
cool,
was
as
cool.
it's peeling away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very cool. But then what it leaves behind that looks so strange, I think, is the ash. It doesn't look like. I mean, I guess you don't want a vampire to look like flesh. Maybe. I thought it was kind of cool. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's the fake eyes poking out of the ash that tend to get kind of cross-eyed at the last moment.
That was kind of.
Would you keep your focus as you died? I don't know.
Wow.
Not when you're melting. But it didn't ruin the film at all, though. I mean,
No.
It was all
No.
glorious.
Well, this says, let's see, the shot of the vampire's fate. Okay, so they started that the case was made of plaster, followed by the makeup artist molding an adhesive rubber mask over it with a layer of ash between the plastic and the rubber. We made the face cast with plaster. Then the makeup artist and I molded an adhesive rubber mask over it. Our trick was to put a layer of ash between the plaster and the rubber. I don't know how they melted it.
Fire.
Because it looked good. It looked better. It looked more different from wax, which made it disturbing because it was like a new look. Just big clumps sliding down.
And also points out vampires, as they often are, very stupid. Okay, so the guys are chasing around with a couple of sticks that they make in a cross, and they chase. No matter how painful that must be, you don't go outside. They chase you right up to the roof, you dopes.
And it's your castle. You know everything's
your castle. You know all the little nooks and crannies and secret spots. And
I know you stay in your castle,
do it, right?
You stay in your castle because you know it's going to get light outside, but you run up to the roof.
Yeah, but they were surprised that it was already dawn. They went, "Oh no, it's dawn!"
Yeah. Oh no, the sun with terrifying regularity shows up every morning. Who could have seen this coming?
No, you just got to go with it sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, Daphne, I think just to give you a little hope on the, I would assume it's probably going to come out in 4K because everything does now.
Yeah.
Pretty much without regard. All right. Well, should we dive in? Anything else we want to talk in general about the plot or anything? Or
it's got ballerinas and vampires. It writes itself.
It kind of does. You got two male leads that switch flip flop, and then you got two female leads that flip flop. Sometimes you can tell the difference. Sometimes you can't.
Yeah, it wasn't always clear who the main protagonists were supposed to be.
No, it wasn't.
The women all look alike except for the Baroness, so I was rooting for her. And of the guys, I just picked the one with the honcho mustache because he was easy to tell from the other one.
Giorgio wasn't in on the deal, apparently. He wasn't there. What do they call the not the familiar, but the I don't know, his disciple, his acolyte, his. All right, let's take a look. What do we have here? Oh, there's the vampire.
Yeah.
It's the painted eyebrows that just kill me.
But I don't know. There's something special about it. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm with you on the painted eyebrows, though. They should have been, at the very least, they should have been like wispier or salt and pepper or something.
Lighter, yeah, something just. Or they should have shown a scene where he, is trying to make himself up look good for his lady and paints him on. And this is the best he could get.
It looks like he had a very bad face.
Facelift. Yeah.
The
hands are cool. I thought the hands were cool. It really.
Oh, yeah, the John Carradine arthritis.
Yeah,
hands.
they look arthritic hands. They look really big and knobby. What does it say? When drained of blood, Herman transforms into hideous ancient fiend with a distorted, gnarly face.
Gnarly.
Now, I want to point out, they decided to call him Herman long before the Munster show, but still, Herman the Vampire just made me laugh.
Herman.
I'm sorry.
Us stateside are going to laugh.
Yeah, I think that was lost in translation. For sure. Yeah.
It's probably an English thing that Herman
It's,
is just almost like a cliche. It's like there's some names that are perfectly good names. I have friends with these names, but if I were, like making a scary vampire, werewolf, demon, overlord, I'm not going to call him Kevin. Just,
Well,
Herman is another one.
You might call him Martin.
Martin.
Herb the vampire. Doesn't work.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh man, but he was.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go, Doc. Go.
Oh, I was going to say, like he's effective with the women, but then runs from every male in the cast. He's like, dude.
Yeah.
What's up with you? Why are you such
That's
a coward?
good point. You could take somebody. Yeah, you could do it. I think he just
Okay. While we're on this one, it doesn't bother you that I pick on you, Daphne, for wardrobe questions.
No, doesn't.
I thought the wardrobes were cool. I liked his little gold.
I
did
too.
Yeah.
On his blouse. It was one of those blousey ones from like the medieval.
Yeah.
Or,
it reminded me of Beauty and the Beast, or like a dancer's costume. That's what I thought of. Yeah.
We should look and see if. I think it was shot someplace else. But did you notice in the castle they had the arm candelabras sticking out?
Yes.
I did see
I did
some.
not. I
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There weren't too many. She ducked under one.
Dang it! I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But he also has, his regular face.
Yeah.
Not very terrifying.
No. Not even very memorable.
That's pretty damn silly face there right now.
The vampire teeth were.
Expression, not
Not
face.
great.
Expression.
I actually think they went and cut teeth out. They're not good. They're not good to the point of the actors' lips keep getting caught on them when they're saying lines. At one time, his lip goes up and it catches on the tooth, and he. Anyway.
She does too. The other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the ones that are right here instead of back ones, like. Yeah.
I did like how they introduced Herman, like how she just like calls for him, and then he comes in, establishing that he's like a servant. But no, it's all part of the trick. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, he's like the servant. It's like a cop show I was watching the other day where they were. Never mind. There was a big beefy black guy standing there, and he just assumed he was the head of security and started talking to him. And the guy says, "I'm the CFO."
Yeah.
Awkward.
No, am I a servant? I don't know. Upon stalking and feeding on a fresh victim, such as the beautiful ballerinas, Herman's body and face instantly rejuvenate.
Yes.
And then he goes and gives it to the wife, and then he's back to being ugly again. Instead of being grateful for keeping her youth and everything, she immediately, get away. I cannot stand to look at you, you filthy pig. And like, wow, this is awful.
Yeah,
even for a vampire.
This is Maria Luisa Rolando as Countess Aldo. Countess Aldo is a beautiful, centuries-old vampire who uses the life force of others to remain eternally youthful and glamorous. She's pretty good in this too, and she does a wide range of stuff.
Well, and I do think she was beautiful and glamorous, youthful, very good playing that role.
Yeah, and when they go into the castle, she's the one that delivers the Dracula line.
Yeah. She comes walking down the stairs delivering Dracula lines, and this kind of leads to, well, I'll leave it for when we talk about cinematography, but she was in charge for sure.
Yeah.
And then she tried
No, I don't like nosy questions, but nevertheless,
exactly.
Enjoy my hospitality.
I did. But she was trying to seduce old Luca, though.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
looked pretty fetching.
Ooh.
Yeah. succeeded
maybe.
pretty quickly with
Yeah.
that too.
Well, he good for his purpose. He just goes, what does he say to her? You're gonna have to die. He doesn't quite use that tone, but that's
Yeah.
Oh, at the end, yeah,
yeah,
that's
right at
funny.
the very end. But he does.
Yeah, he's not a
He
total
tells
idiot. He
her.
saw what how things worked out for her last paramour. It's like there's nothing good comes from falling in love with a vampire.
Okay, so
Even if you're a vampire, probably.
Yeah, even if you're another vampire, evidently.
she does a good job, and yeah, and she does. There's that one scene where she's like laying in bed, and he's like going, "Come on, it's time to go," and she just,
No, he doesn't really want to have a lot to do with
she
him.
just kind
No.
of blows him off.
Yeah, she does not want him around.
Yeah. Go do something with those eyebrows, for God's sake.
Feather, learn how to feather.
She seems,
then-
yeah.
Yeah. Then we have our two female leads who we all agreed we got confused, except for Jeff. Jeff was on ball.
I'm not saying that.
And this is Louisa, Helena Remy. Louisa is a bubbly, lighthearted young ballerina who falls victim of the vampires. Countess Aldo and her servant Herman.
Herman. Paging Mr. Herman.
But I love this shot, though. I love that, when she's in there and he sneaks up behind her.
Yeah.
Centuries later, his relatives started a show and called himself Pee-wee.
Oh.
Well, I thought this character was great. And this is kind of what I was thinking about with Luisa and Francesca and the ballerinas in general in this movie is like sometimes with Gothic and other, I think, slasher stuff too. It's like there's I think it's commonly referred to as like the whore and the virgin, and that's kind of the tropes of them. But I felt like all the women in this movie were like already sophisticated, and they didn't fit into either of those stereotypes, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they were dancers was kind of like you could see how much control they had they had control over their bodies. They were used to people looking at them. They all seemed very comfortable, kind of like sexualized dancing or regular, whatever. This was like they were professionals and everything. And I really liked that Luisa, like when you were introduced to her, you are introduced to her and her relationship with Giorgio, very open about like their affection towards each other. And she's appears very kind of like sexual and sensual, the way that she's like laying on the bed with him and everything. But then when you meet some of the other dancers, especially Francesca, initially you might think that she's like virginal or whatever, but she isn't. She's just kind of reserved. But she definitely has like agency and all this stuff. And I just thought that was really interesting. And I really like Luisa's character and how she, I know we're going to talk about the actor separately, but I just kind of liked her storyline. I kind of believed that she fell under the spell of this, and then she was going to give up kind of give up her friendship and her romantic relationships to be with him. And, and then they both betrayed her. I just thought that it was I appreciated her character a lot. And I thought it was very interesting and not something that I've seen much.
I would agree with that. Yeah, both of them were handled much in a more delicate, different fashion. Than they weren't damsels in distress they tend to be. They were a little more, I think, like you said, had agency and urgency. This is our other lead.
Francesca.
Yeah, Tina Gloriani, and then she could, the obsession of an old vampire occupying a nearby castle. Which he does. He becomes kind of obsessed with her, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. And like I kind of already said about her too, I liked her character and I liked their relationship, and kind of the dynamic between their relationship. I thought was really interesting, and added to the story, even though it's a vampire story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a their relationship between the two girls is very strong and portrayed very well, and their relationships with these two men as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then when things start falling apart, you know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I liked it. Okay, at the end, she's in the castle and she's trying to duck and cover, getting away from the vampire Herman. And I thought she did a good job. I mean, she was obviously scared out of her wits,
Mm-hmm.
right? But still, she was able to outmaneuver him until she just,
Mm-hmm.
couldn't anymore. She was frozen in fear there toward the end. So.
Yeah. And I also liked how she was very direct and like didn't push back, or she would push back against Luca and Luisa when they were trying to pretend like they hadn't seen anything strange or that they didn't know what was happening in the castle. She's innocent, but she's not. I don't know if I say she's innocent, but she still is very strong and has agency, I guess is the easiest way to say it.
Well, she's innocent compared to Luisa.
Right. Well, she's reserved. That's how I see. That's what I'm saying is I didn't feel like it was the typical like I said, like virginal, innocent.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't think she was that. She was something different. She was a little bit more experienced or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, she very much was. Very much was. Moving on. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, the last one was obviously the I can't think of the word I want. The gremlin of the bunch. She just was always had this kind of sly smile, like she was thinking of stuff to do outside the norm, or that she knew people wouldn't approve of, or Louisa, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Tina or Francesca was much more traditional or down the line. What are we supposed to do? What are we not supposed to do? That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Traditional is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it goes deeper than that, but
I'm sure.
Well, because I think that you can. Do you guys think that Luisa was like that more after she was bit by the vampire?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably, yeah. That happens pretty early, so yeah, that's a good point.
I think she might have been more, but I think she still was before that, even.
Yeah.
So it's just, and I don't know. I just thought Francesca, she definitely is less so than Luisa, but they're both equally grown, non-virginal. Waiting to be corrupted by the vampire kind of
and their
character.
Yeah. I not see that's the mark I think of a good movie, because I want to watch it again now and see watch behaviors before the vampire and after the vampire.
Right.
Well,
know what's going to happen to
yeah.
Well,
I didn't pay that close attention. So.
Well, and like I said, I might just be working on a film school essay with it, which is
intriguing one. Very
totally, I don't know if it was intentional or if I just was like looking at it with a different eye, but that's just kind of, I'll shut up now about that particular thing.
And of course, the problem we have also is the dubbing. how much.
It's true.
Because sometimes the dubbing got to me. It was like, you guys are just making up words to match the lip movements. Because like one character says, "Oh, I just felt a drop," and then like a few lines later, it's like, "It's starting to rain." Yeah, that's what just a drop means. It's starting. You know, how many times are you going to tell us that it's starting to rain? And I don't know if that was actually the dialogue or not. Because the European movies, Japanese movies, they made no effort to make the words match because it's never going to happen. But a lot of times with the European dubbing, what was considered good dubbing was to come up with words that would match the lip movements to the point where you weren't 100% sure if it was being dubbed or not. And that's fine, except that may not have anything to do with what they were actually saying. So a lot of times the dialogue in the Euro movies, the translated Euro movies, to me always seemed really stilted compared to, if you're lucky enough to get the subtitles, it reads a whole lot better.
So Gestaldi, one of the co-writers, said, God. The original screenplay was written by Gianpaolo Caligaris, and Gestaldi described the script as, quote, rather canine. I don't know what that means. Does that mean it's a dog? Or does that mean something different? Or it could be a typo. I don't know. And wrote a new one with the director, Renato Polselli.
Based on it or a fresh new one?
Pardon me?
Was it based on the previous one? Or?
Yeah. I think
okay. Or just a fresh one, like
they just made it. Well, I don't know. That's a good point. Well, the credits
maybe that's why their teeth are not so great. Their fangs.
Well. All right. Well, we'll move on to the male cast. This is Luca, played by Sirocco Ravioli. Nice. Luca's a young, college-educated man who fights to rescue his fiancée, Francesca, and her friends from the vampire scourges. What does that look?
I'm college educated.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You'll know where I am. Let me know you know where I am if you need anything.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be there when you call me. Okay, how good a hero is he? Is he? I mean, he
gets the job done.
Yeah, but
that's what. Yeah.
I don't think he paired up or matched up to what the ladies were doing. I think I don't think the character was written as well.
Yeah, and I think something that would support that was that the vampires die almost like out of their own stupidity. It's not like the heroes, the two guys, did much. Besides, I mean, they were already on the way up, trying to get away from whoever. They just grabbed a couple of sticks and chased him out.
Yeah.
So
the whole thing about vampires, the whole fear of vampires kind of breaks down with the whole nighttime thing. Once you know where they live, there should not be that big of a deal. They're in the daytime and you kill them. It
8 a.m. Be there sharp. Get it done. Go be done by lunch.
If you're a vampire, you really need to go to a country where not everyone is like wearing crucifixes. In other words, not Italy,
not a Catholic country.
Especially not Rome.
That's funny.
The whole continent of Asia would be your oyster, but no.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It is.
Well, we do have a few of those, European, Asian kind of crossover type things, but not as much as they should have.
Vampires. I like them.
I did want to make a comment about the thing I said about the writing. The person I said who did the first script that the guy said was rather canine, his name is not on the credits anywhere. So maybe it was a whole new script.
Because
the guys listed are and in their credits, it says Renato Polselli, Giuseppe Pellegrini, and Ernesto Gastaldi with the ands, which I think, Bill, we talked about this before, and I always get screwed up, but I think the ands mean they worked on it together.
Okay.
Does the ampersand or mean separately? They came along. I don't know. There's actually a legal
there's some
meaning behind
rule.
that.
Sure.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't
We
know
should know it.
that.
This guy, yeah, he's a little smug.
And then when you read
That's a
interviews,
good way, yeah.
the other thing I love about Euro movies, Euro trash movies from that time is when you read interviews with any of the creators, there is no agreement on who should get responsibility for anything. Like, oh yeah, they say it was directed by so-and-so, but actually I directed it. And then the writer will come along and say, he wasn't even there on the set. And,
Yes.
Okay. So
we ran into that with, was it Mark of the Devil? I think there was people that said that, like, I never even saw that guy at this part. He wasn't around for those parts or whatever. So
Hey, well, he's rocking the ascot, so
Yeah.
gotta go with that.
Okay, I just checked Claude. So Claude is not always right. Claude makes mistakes. But in the film and television industry, the distinction between and ampersand is meaningful in particularly the context of the Writers Guild of America credit arbitration. And spelled out means the writers worked separately on the script. Their contributions were distinct enough that they didn't function as a collaborative team. Ampersand means the writers worked together as a team. They were a writing partnership on that specific draft.
Huh. Okay, so the ampersand means they work together. Okay.
According to Claude. I didn't have time to check it, but
Yeah. That to me actually makes sense.
I'll
It
buy
does.
it for $1.
So
Yeah, like
this makes it sound like
Abbott, Ampersand, Costello. To me, that implies they're going to be working together, running away from Frankenstein together, and all that.
yeah, that's true.
But now, with the songs that are listed as by Lennon and McCartney, you can never tell. Never mind.
Well, that was an interesting agreement between those two.
It was.
Even if you just completely wrote that song on your own, we're still gonna credit it to
Yep.
Lennon and McCarthy.
Yep.
And
But
poor
they also
Ringo,
did
"What about
like
me?
collaborate real time with.
I wrote a
stuff.
song about an octopus."
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my gosh. And then we have Gino Torini. Also, he was credited as John Turner, as you, he mustachioed barrel.
Giorgio, you left it. I think he.
I think it
forgot
was
the G.
Giorgio.
There's a G out missing.
G
from-
instead of an R.
Yeah.
Or no, a G after the R. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a vanishing
Sorry.
G in there. Because it's down at the bottom. Giorgio is a mustachioed, barrel-chested dance instructor and piano accompanist for a traveling troupe of beautiful dancers.
He was great.
He's the one I kind of want on my side. A college boy's fine, but if I need someone to have my back when there's vampires lurking around, I want El Mustachio here.
No mustache.
He's got that. He's got that Burt Lancaster build.
Mhm.
When you say barrel chested, that's what I.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not flexing or showing
Right.
off his
No, no,
abs
no.
or anything, but he could probably like lift a heavy door or do something.
Yeah. He was a fun character.
I did like how they were. One of the things I enjoy about dance studio scenes are all the different types of workout clothes that the different dancers wear. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's amazing. And so these were relatively similar, but
Now was he? What? Okay. Now I've already forgotten. Was he? Is he the one that was with Francesca, or was he with?
He was with Luisa.
Luisa. Okay. And they were engaged? Or?
No,
I think they were.
I don't think they were. They were together. Yeah.
I think they were just screwing around. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he definitely was like
Friends with benefits, kind of.
yeah, he's probably on like number 29. Yeah.
He didn't act real bummed about,
He did. They kind of did really. Like that
Easy
one
come,
guy, and they were
easy.
like, okay, let's move on. This is our Van Helsing. The professor. Although all he knows is the lore, right?
Right.
He does a great
Yeah.
the word
Exposition.
Exposition. He does a great exposition there. He just
Mhm.
spews out the whole vampire legend
Right.
from the point of view of the film while he's
Sandwich in between. Now this is all a lot of nonsense.
And all the
that's
girls-
stupid
and all the
everything,
girls
but I'm
going,
gonna tell you about it.
whenever he says something.
I know, but they begged him. They got down on
They
their
did.
knees, literally, and begged him. It's cute.
Yeah.
That's what they
Tell
do.
us. Tell us.
Trust me. Especially grandkids, because they know the grandpa will let them watch stuff.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, they know what to do. But he isn't our Peter Cushing Van Helsing at all.
He doesn't have a lot of. I mean, he's sometimes there, but he's not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I will say that when he entered the first time, he looked very sus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought, is that why he's there? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
hmm
yeah.
But
He kept
wearing
showing
a
up.
hat and-
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a cape also. Yeah.
he kept showing up right after Herman
Mhm.
had
Mhm.
done something, and you've seen a guy in shadow with a cloak and a hat on,
Right.
and then this guy comes around the corner. Literally, when that one time when he leaves, the vampire leaves and he comes in. It's like, how could he not have seen him?
Yeah.
But, okay.
yeah,
His purpose is just to be old and know things, College boy isn't learning about vampires, and the piano man, he's got other fish to fry. But this guy's been around long enough. I remember the old legends. That
Oh,
my
you're
grand-
back in the 14th century.
Yeah.
16th.
The next one's just our couple, but I wanted to include it because this is the picture I remember seeing.
That's a
in the
great
Monster
picture.
magazine.
A great
And-
picture.
That's a great picture. Yeah.
And it captures the slightly risque of
Mhm.
Yeah,
business.
sexiness to it.
Well, not only that, well,
Yeah.
It also
considering
shows
those
the
gloves
dynamic.
he's wearing, he might not have been able to
He
feel where his
doesn't know
hands
what
were.
he's. Yeah, it's no one's getting a thrill out of this. But
Mhm.
it also shows
Oh,
their
we're
dynamic because he's like slurping on her neck, like and grabbing her.
Yeah.
Like, this is a high point of his day, and she
Yeah.
could not be less interested. Like,
Yeah.
she's thinking of a guy with a mustache or something.
He
Yeah,
says, no,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
come back when you look better so I can.
that's right. Yeah,
But you
She's
never
thinking
really.
about Luca.
she's got a
Yeah,
nice.
it's quite an
sneer.
interesting thing. He goes and feeds on somebody, and he becomes young, and then he goes to her, and she feeds on him. She becomes old, and she becomes young, and then he goes like this. Yeah.
And then she calls him repulsive and kicks him out.
Mhm.
I know. She's
Yeah.
This marriage cannot be saved.
no, it's no therapist can help them. They're just get bit anyway. All right. Well, that is our cast of characters. Thank you all for
Yay.
pitching in. I love it.
Who did
Good
we
cast of characters.
say? Well, and now it's time for Taglines with Chad, with the part of Chad played by
Woo, woo.
Evil Daphne.
Look at
Yeah. Is that back when you were fighting Austin Powers?
that. Oh my gosh.
That's funny. Well, it was in London, so I might have been. I might have just
It
sat
even looks like you have two little antennas.
Does it rain
bro.
every day?
Oh my gosh.
She's a bee girl.
funny.
It's raining again. Oh, shit. All right.
That's funny. That makes me laugh. Thank you. So I miss Chad. Wish he was here. I'm gonna do my best, and I'm not even gonna try to be funny like him.
Oh, no,
but
you can't. Yeah.
yeah. So we've
You
only-
can be funny without even trying.
it's interesting. There's only 2 taglines.
That's right. That's right.
Interesting. I can be funny without even trying. Yes, that's my superpower. Unfortunately. I get burned all the time. Okay. Bloodlusting fiend who preys on girls. Vampire queen who feeds on lifeblood of men. All caps.
I see a trend. I see a trend there.
Yeah.
A bloodlusting fiend and a vampire queen.
Yes. A company of beautiful young dancers stranded in a lonely mountain village as the horror legend 2,000 years old comes alive.
Ooh.
Did we hear? Did they say 2,000?
2000.
No.
The Countess did mention being around, but I don't know if it was 2000.
No, they said 300 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that painting didn't look 2,000 years old. I do love that. I always love that trope where you've got an obvious painting of yourself and you're like, oh no, that's my ancestor. There is a certain resemblance. It's like a photograph.
And they just buy it. Everybody buys it. Okay.
Oh, sure. Genetics, crazy thing, you
We
know.
should be going, I don't believe you.
Well, folks,
That's
been Taglines with Chad, with the part of Chad played by Daphne.
Chad's our hero, cool and rad. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad.
Thank you. Somebody had to do that. Oh, Chad, we miss you, buddy. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Well, now let's check out some posters. Yeah.
posters. Yeah, a lot of cool posters. Some of
Yes.
which don't quite really look like they belong to the movie, but they're all painted, so that's cool. They got that going for them.
Well, this is when we're in the Vampire Lovers
Mm-hmm.
title, which
Mhm.
was what, 10 years before the Hammer.
Mhm.
Well, the Hammer was the Vampire Lovers, and this is the Vampire's Lover. They made the S
Oh, well, there we
move
go.
over. Yeah, all the difference in the world.
The Vampire
There she is,
Lovers.
caught in a web of her own lies, or
Something like that.
I
And
like
I'm
that.
not
I like
sure.
the colors.
What's that?
I like the colors in it. I
Mhm.
think it's some nice colors.
I do too. That pink really
Happy.
stands out, and then they kind of highlighted in her hair as well.
Mhm.
Kinda-
clearly emphasizing the damsels in distress aspect in this poster.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of horror, but unless you're really afraid of big
It's
spiders.
a huge spider web. Yeah.
That is a ginormous spider.
What is the green? Is that a couple of eyeballs looking at you, or what is that? Right in the middle of it.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
can't tell.
Nice enough. Nice enough.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that poster. And then this is the one you see by far the most because that's
Mhm.
what they put on the US Blu-ray at least. So
This has got a little bit of every. We got the ugly vampire. We've got a dancer posing.
Mhm.
Got a slightly less risque.
Yeah, I
version
got a
of-
PG version.
Yeah,
this is
PG
this is truer than this is
Mhm.
actually pretty
Mhm.
accurate. All of these
Oh yeah, I love
Girl in
those.
the leotards, which I mentioned already.
Mhm.
The
love how
picture in the
this-
bottom, that's kind of what the Countess wears.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love how the smoke from the candles wisp
Yeah.
up to the.
goes
Yeah.
up in
Through
the
the
That's
high point.
awesome.
nice.
I do want to say the one bit of I thought genuine. The only part that kind of gave me a little shock was the burial where they're taking
Oh,
the grave
yes.
to the cemetery and they have
That
where
was
you
so
can see her
good.
face and all of a sudden her eyes open up. It's
Yeah.
like,
That was
You
so
know-
good.
What did that remind you of? Anybody?
kind
Anything?
of like vampire.
Yeah, Vampire. The
Vampire.
yeah from
Mhm.
the early 30s, the German flick. I must have been a European because I've seen it. Where else did I see it? Didn't I see that in
I've
one
seen
of
it
the?
in another movie too recently.
Yeah,
Did they get away from putting glass windows in coffins? And let me just say, good move, because there is nothing that would stop me from putting in my will some form of a practical
Well-
joke, taking advantage of that.
isn't it? It is odd. I don't know what the purpose is. My first thought was that it must be like, when they used to put the string and you could ring the bell in case you were a narcoleptic or something,
Mhm.
in
Wow.
the coffin. Now I can see if you open your eyes and you're alive. But in this case, they knew she was alive. They were just burying her. It's a vampire. We have to bury her. What the hell?
Then we get the camera eye view of them throwing dirt onto them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great shot with those 5
Yeah.
guys standing around above.
That
them.
whole shot was awesome. I love that. And I love that it was a transition between the girls dancing in the water, and then they look over and they see this funeral procession, and then it goes to the folks getting lost in the woods. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
He did that a couple of times. Really cool transitions. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good.
So then what do we have next? Okay.
Here we're
Ooh.
going full on horror here.
I like that one.
The mattress and the vampire. The
Mhm.
mistress and the vampire.
Yeah, I like that one too.
CIF.
She's enjoying it way more than anyone in the movie did.
Mm.
I kind of thought that I thought that Luisa, well, yeah, Luisa for sure. And then that's like, I don't know, was it before, was this an early Gothic movie? Like, was it, I know that it was influenced by Hammer, but it feels more like European in the sense that it was kind of sexier.
already forgot
Like
what
some of
year
the
is
other.
Want to do that one now, Bill?
There we go.
This is Bill's got a slide called Goth.
God,
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. just beautiful cinematography and lighting. And
Yeah, look at the eyes.
now, what year is this movie? I've already forgotten.
60.
So it's only been 2 years since Horror of Dracula.
Yeah, which made a big big
Yeah.
Sure.
big change in all in horror.
Well, one of the
And
things
Daphne's
Gastaldi's
right though. This one does ramp up the sexiness because Horror of Dracula, it's sexy in the sense, Christopher Lee brought a sensuality to the role.
Right.
And the lead actress in Horror of Dracula, who was it Melissa Stripling, who I really like. She was not the young ingenue of later Hammer movies. I thought she brought a real sexiness to the role and everything. But here they're really ramping that up, which Hammer would also start doing.
Mhm.
and ooh.
I love this poster. It
Yeah.
just doesn't say anything to me about. the
Oh,
movie.
you know what?
Yeah.
I think that is the they made a that's what that is. The film was published as a photo novel in the
Oh.
March 1962 issue of Malia,
Oh, okay. So that's it.
and the
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
translation
this
of
looks
the
more like a pulp novel.
translation of the subtitle is "Photo Stories of Thrills."
Well, that's a
So-
great picture.
Yeah,
Great cover.
it does feel very pulp though. Yeah.
It looks more like a film noir than a vampire movie, but
When they said photo novel, I assumed it had like stills from
Like
the movie.
like a
but-
fumetti. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe
Fumetti.
the cover, they wanted a cover that was more grabbing.
It works.
Good catch. I was looking for this and I didn't see it. Nice. As soon as I saw that Malia, it looked maybe Malia, I think. All right, and then
A
one
simple
less
one.
elaborate one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm guessing that's going to be a
That looks like it might be the Blu-ray cover.
Yeah, or something.
or a VHS or something even.
Yeah.
They're certainly not afraid to give you a real good look at the vampire there.
No. Why?
No.
They aren't.
And with the eyebrows.
And all right, so now we have the director, which we mentioned is Renato Polselli.
Ooh, interesting.
He did some stuff.
The
I have
monster.
seen none of these movies.
Now, so I thought of what I was going to say before. Gastaldi said, the one of the co-writers said that the plot was pretty much like every other movie we'd been doing, except for the vampires. We added the vampires. So I'm not sure how the girls were tying. Maybe they were just doing movies with, drama and dance troupes and stuff. I don't know.
Well, from these posters, I want to see every single one of these movies.
yeah, Monster and the
100%.
Opera looks great. Yeah.
But
I also
now,
like how the monster of the opera, the font for monster looks like they just took it from Famous Monsters of
Yes, it
Filmland.
does, doesn't it?
It was 1964.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then what's the other? What is Mania is 1974. What's
Black
Delirium?
Magic Rights.
Delirium is 72. And I can't find
which one are you looking for?
the Black Magic one is escaping me.
And I think I read something that
I got
the director eventually ended up just doing like hardcore porn, which seems a waste of some talent here. But
Oh, I thought he did a lot of really cool things in this
yeah,
movie.
yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black Magic Rights.
I mean, like kind of we talked about you know, like the shots in the castle and the camera angles from below and up high, and you know, I loved always looking up and seeing the Countess was always up high, like her
Yes, she was.
power over you and all that kind of stuff. And in the house with the dancers, it was always much more kind of warm, kind of
Mhm.
safe kind of feel to it. But yeah, I thought even the way that the castle was used, and I'm sure this was how it was in lots of movies, but it really added to that high and low view, just because it was just all straight up. So much of the filming, you were either above or below, and it was always interesting whose perspective you were looking at.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, I
thought
love
that
this.
was really cool.
I love the shot going down to where the diner table was when they would come into, you know, I guess
Yes.
front door or whatever to the actual castle part. And it's just a great way to show, because it gave us everything we need to know about that room and the location and the stairwell, everything. I really liked it, and they did it like 2 or 3 times from there. So.
And in that shot too, I liked when they're first introduced into that room with the Countess, how you can see that there are tables set, you know, for 3 people, not for 4, even though there's 4 people in the room. And it just, you know, and that place looked really nice compared to the rest of the castle, but maybe that was kind of the norm then. I just thought he did a really great job with atmosphere. And or was there a different cinematographer, or the cinematographer did, but I don't know. I thought that the director did a great job with a lot of that stuff.
Oh,
And I did like that we were talking about the scene during the funeral procession, you know, the point of view of the person in the in the coffin, you know, that was great. And just seeing the trees, looking from the ground up, yeah, with all the other high and low angles, I thought it was really nice. This was only a 3-week shoot, I think. Somewhere I read that.
Yeah, that was amazing. Things done so fast.
The only one that has a Wikipedia, Ernesto Gastaldi.
Yeah, I recognize his name from all of these movies that we have covered.
Yeah. According to Tim Lucas, and I trust anything Tim Lucas says, he was the first Italian screenwriter to specialize in horror and thriller films.
Oh, cool.
And we've done Torso, I know.
Yeah, we did Werewolf of the Girls' Dormitory.
You did Long Hair of Death.
Long Hair of Death. I guess we haven't done Whipping the Body yet. So there's
a Bava film we're waiting to do. Yeah.
Oh, we haven't done that yet? Okay, cool.
We did Blood and Black Lace. I think
horrible Dr. Hitchcock is a good
interesting film too. I keep hearing about that. I thought it was kind of a schlub movie, but I keep hearing people saying good things. So
he did The Great Alligator from '79. You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Kind of Once Upon a Time in America. 2019, after the fall of New York. Oh my gosh. Which was a ripoff of Escape from New York.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I read it, but I swear. So this is the Vampire and the Ballerina. Then there's a movie from 1963 called The Playgirls and the Vampire. Also stars Walter Brandi, and but it's directed and written by Piero Ragnoli. But it seemed really, I started watching it, and it seemed really similar, but just with a more realistic 5 beautiful showgirls trapped by a storm and find refuge in a creepy old castle. The owner of the castle, a strange nobleman, has a secret lab in the basement and has his own plans for the girls. And I can't remember. I only got about halfway through it. I can't remember what the plan for the girls was, but there was an awful lot of scenes that seemed similar. I thought a bunch of the people were the same, but that's the only one I can find that's the same. So I don't know. Something I read in my sleep, apparently. I dreamed it. Well, let's take a look at the stars then. So we mentioned the 2 leads, female leads at least. Elena Remy and Tina Gloriani. And man, do they look alike. when you see weird stills from odd angles and things. It's all through the movie. I was trying to figure out which was which.
One's taller than the other.
True. Doesn't help when she's laying on the floor.
Yeah.
No, I did find one photo of them like facing each other.
Yeah.
And the Remy had the fangs on the side, and that was the only reason I knew which one was which.
Oh, okay.
When I was trying to do the cards, I don't know why it was so difficult. I mean, if you get them side by side, there's obvious difference. But
Well, I thought that Remy, her thing was, I thought I read that she was put in so they could get some money from France, I thought. I can't see half of that. I don't know where I read this stuff because I can't find it anywhere now.
have they done anything else of that was cool?
Not that I could find.
I'm looking at. I mean, they did a lot of work, but can't tell if any of it's horror or not. Let's see. There's a lot of Italian films which I am not familiar with. Somebody out there listening and watching knows, and they can tell us all about it.
So Remy has, I don't know, 40 credits, acting credits.
The other one has 17.
Yeah, and a lot of them are foreign films with the foreign titles. So can't really tell what they're about. Just like
she followed these up with My Friend Dr. Jekyll and The Love of Hercules.
Oh wow!
And she only worked from 55 to 63. So.
Oh wow, 40 things in 8 years. So she was pretty active.
Well, this was 17. This is I'm sorry.
You're talking about Tina Gloriani.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, the 41, she worked all the way up through 1970, but she started in 49, which isn't much at all. Yeah. So, what?
Yeah. So that
good 20 years.
Yeah. I just saw it. It sounded interesting. Her sequel was The Last of the Vikings follow-up movie.
I gotta find out what this My Friend Dr. Jekyll is now.
Yeah.
Well, imagine that. See, Last of the Vikings, Italian movie starring Cameron Mitchell. There we go.
No. Oh no. Okay, we'll just keep that to myself.
Well, I think they both did really well, and they, after working in the theater as a dancer and a prose actress, she entered the world of cinema in France in 1949. French actress who became best known for her roles in Italian costume dramas. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Although this is actually, I thought she was good. It says, although she lacked great dramatic talent, she was characterized by a brilliant, lively performance, not without charm.
Not without charm. That's a backwards way of saying it.
Yeah.
I know.
I thought that she did very well.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And the same with Tina. But man, it was hard to tell them apart. They look different here, but kind of, but it's different shots. All right. Then we have Walter Brandi as the vampire, laughing maniacally at the Countess, who are getting ready to bite her. I don't know.
Yeah, he has a better name in Playgirls and the Vampire. Count Gabor Carnassi.
Yeah, Gabor. They keep talking about
Gabor. Then he did Curse of Blood Ghouls.
Curse of the Blood Ghouls.
Monster of the Opera. Oh, he's uncredited now.
Well, I think you got.
I got I have another
Oh,
because he
okay.
did
Sorry.
quite a bit of stuff here.
Yeah.
Slaughter of the Vampires, I remember seeing on TV all the time when I was a kid.
So
And
that's what
Bloody
you got.
Pit of Horror is a lot of fun with Mickey Hargitay.
Oh yes.
And then that is Playgirls and the Vampires down on the lower right, and then Terror Creatures from the Grave.
Yes,
Barbara Steele, so you can't go wrong with Barbara Steele.
Terror Creatures from the
Bloody Pit of Horror. Is that any good?
Oh no, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
The guy in the background looked like the Phantom.
Yeah, he's evil.
Evil.
Well, because he's got a red hood instead of
Yeah.
whatever color you should have. Slaughter of the Vampires. It's a lot of terror.
Where's Slaughter of the Vampires?
That's the
up
top
at the
one.
top.
Top left.
No, I see that, but
Oh, where is it on there?
Oh, it probably has a very different name.
It's
That
probably
was the
listed as a,
American version.
look for anything with.
I think it's the Curse of the Blood Ghouls.
Oh, that
Yeah, it's Curse of the Blood Ghouls. Yeah, it's the same picture.
Boy, those are two great titles for one movie.
Yeah. And he played Marquis Wolfgang.
He was also in The Last of the Vikings.
Very nice. Very nice.
Alrighty. I mean, he does okay. I don't know how good he was in his normal face, but he was an okay vampire. I don't know. He's got a lot of credits. I shouldn't
talk smack about.
Would you catch there, Doc, or you just?
No, that was just funny. He didn't.
Well, I wasn't.
Put a mask on that man. He does better.
Yeah. Right. And dump on the
Cut him
guy.
some slack.
Anything else there on Walter?
Well, I mean, his character, even though it's like he's the big guy, he's the vampire. It didn't really have that much going on.
No, he was almost a coward. Like he was always like, as soon as the guy showed up, he would like run off, and he wasn't Christopher Lee. And he didn't even try to be like a Christopher Lee or some of the other vampires, which and not even John Carradine and just.
He didn't have any real power, Yeah,
the individual. Yeah, when he was the vampire, it was a totally different thing. But most of the time he wasn't acting that much. He was just lurking and biting, and I don't know if we saw any ravaging, but
he did good with the makeup. I mean, I feel like he worked well with the makeup, and you could see his reactions and stuff through the makeup. I thought pretty well.
They tried hard. The mouth didn't work too well, but it was pretty good. At least moved some.
Yeah,
it's fine in context. I mean, when you look at it, like, ooh, but in the movie, I felt all right. It didn't feel.
Yeah.
Well, it was I appreciated the uniqueness of what they were trying to do. They were trying something new, and it looks pretty creepy there at the end. We also have Maria Luisa Rolando.
Rolando.
She was great. Yeah, she did a great job.
Really good.
They noticed her her clothes. What do you have to say about her outfit?
Oh, fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. It looks amazing. Fits great. The texture is great. And her outfit with the vampires and all those other costumes that you see Luisa go in, and it just really gave a good vibe, I thought. And I liked because you see her like in this state, so kind of controlled, but then you kind of see her when she's like trying to seduce Luca or interacting with the vampire. She's different for sure. And a little bit more crazed looking, I thought that was a really nice contrast.
She showed her fangs from time to time.
Yeah.
She only has like 14 credits in IMDb.
She can walk down a staircase. Amazing.
Well,
Mhm.
Yeah, amazingly well. Looking at Dracula.
in 1961, the last movie listed is Amazons of Rome, and I can tell you, I would like to see that.
The Amazons of Rome.
Yeah, see her
Okay.
walk down the stairways. Louis Jordan. She might have a small part. I don't know. Donna Romana. Men and Wolves. Is that a that says uncredited, so probably not that big a part. 2 young hunters of wolves. Okay.
I thought she was a strong character. She made more of an impression than the ugly vampire. Now the ugly vampire did his thing, right? It served a purpose, did his thing. But as far as actually overpowering, the characters, she was the character did that.
Yeah.
The other one was more of a just feast upon them, but she was like in control. Yeah, I like that.
And the actor, I don't know, I just kind of felt more the way she performed. I felt more like, God, what's her story? You know, like how old is she? How did these two to get together? What's going on between them? You know, I don't know. I just felt like she had maybe more presence.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And she has some very different looks too. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
in these shots, she's very sort of regal and stern looking. But there's other shots where she's very sexy and wanton.
Oh, when he comes back to see her and she's reclining on the bed, you know, it's like
when Luca comes back, she's her hair's down and
Well, then we got a few
dancers.
The dancing queens. You know, we did mention the chat, and now we missed the dancing scenes. But
That's
a pretty good representation.
Would have hated those scenes.
I love the little shot they were doing those.
Yeah.
What those moves are called. And there's the two. There you go. In the bottom shot, the two blondes are facing off there. We've got Luisa and Francesca.
Yeah, but this was during the vampire dance.
Yes.
It was like foreshadowing it was telling about the vampire dance.
It was. I didn't pick that up at all. I mean, I knew they were telling the story, but she comes over and kind of does something to her and she collapses. And,
And you're right. They were dancing well. I mean, this looks to me like a shot right out of West Side Story, you know.
Nice.
And even if the two main characters weren't like actual, I mean, they did a great job, but there was definitely some dancers that were had to be real dancers. They were doing some amazing stuff.
Yeah, it fit. I was, you know, it wasn't corny. It wasn't out of place.
I could see people hating it, and I get it. It doesn't. When I was watching it, I was just like, really? You know, like I didn't really know what kind of role it was going to play in it. And could be corny. I'm not going to try and pretend like it's not, but I just thought it kind of earned its place.
I think so too. I think it did. Yeah.
No, they were the first one is kind of showing you what they do, I guess.
Yeah. And
then the last one is sort of interesting.
Well, and I also thought that it kind of introduced again, I don't know if I'm harping on this, but just kind of hammering on the sensuality in the movie. The like kind of European Gothic kind of thing that I think about when I think about like Italian Gothic movies. And that these women are, you know, dancers and they can dance any way you want them to dance.
Yeah, they seemed almost, I mean, it's in a Gothic setting, but they felt more modern. Yeah. Right. Or at least for the time, not for us now, but
we got a nice.
Right. The vibe there was more modern, as like compared to when you went to the castle, right? And it was scary, you know. And
there's a nice ornament right over the fireplace. Too,
yes, I liked that. I noticed that too.
Not the kind of thing you want staring at you every day while you're sitting by the fireplace. Yeah. Okay.
Why can't I relax?
Exactly.
Like somebody's watching me.
Okay. And then we have we looked at the goth, but we'll throw that up there again.
Those are just all just great. They're just so great. And it
We
was so
did.
cruel that he stabbed that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Like, you're not part of my world.
Although, you know what? That's actually smart, because what the problem with being a vampire is that you keep making more vampires, and eventually they are going to bring the Van Helsings down on you because they're stupid.
True.
You've been around for hundreds of years and figured out how to keep this on the down low, but they're just going to be running around biting everybody, and next thing you know, everyone's like, "Hey, we got vampires."
Yeah.
I wonder if that guy in the castle knows.
Nobody will
anything
miss a
about
dance troupe here and there.
it. Yeah.
They're like traveling salesmen.
It did give them a chance to stake somebody. I mean, it's the only time you get a stake.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I took it in hindsight. At the time, I wondered, what the heck?
Yeah. Initially,
In hindsight, I'm thinking he got her life out of her.
Mhm.
Well,
He's
he hasn't
done.
yet. I don't know what's going on there. He's still ugly there. He's got that raunchy hand. That's another reason to watch it again. I can't remember.
And this was also another transition with the stagecoach where it goes, I can't remember where it's what scene you're on, and then you see the stage. Oh, it's Louisa, and they're having a dialogue, and then you see the stagecoach go by, and they're like, where's he going? And they're going to the cemetery. And so then it goes off to the cemetery, and you see this scene. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Okay, the goths. We've had the goths. Now, here's some vampire inspiration.
They look like.
I mean, there comes a point where they just look silly.
They look like bad pizza.
Yeah.
I thought it was great because I thought
it was fun.
Yeah,
I just thought, well, who knows what a vampire is made of and what it looks like when it dissolves, so they could do whatever they want, and they tried.
Now, it was a cool look to have the thing like melting on the top and the crust underneath.
You can kind of see on the guy. You see that little curve slough there on the left cheek. And it's just.
I
like
do love
how
that
it
top
kind of
shot. She
slides.
looks really good coming down the stairs.
Oh, that's the first time we meet her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I was trying to think if there were any times when we didn't see her from above or directly, but we never like saw her down below us because she's so powerful.
Yeah,
that's another reason to watch this again.
Yeah, the only time we see her from above is when she's dying.
When she's actually dead, dying. That's the time we see her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about this movie?
Well, if you haven't figured it out, I thought it was really, really good. And I wasn't expecting. I mean, when I started watching it, it was like, Vampire and the Ballerinas. Let's just have fun, and which it was. But I thought it was just really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for choosing this.
Yeah, it was a surprise. I enjoyed it as well, but I'd been eager to watch it for some time. But I was expecting it to be
Daphne
a little.
says she likes something, you should pay attention.
But
I have yet to get through Magic Sword all the way. Even though Daphne says it's the last part that's better.
Magic Sword? I don't remember talking about Magic Sword.
We did it like when I was gone. Wasn't that the name of it, Bill?
Yeah, the Magic Sword.
Like 61?
Yeah, it's great. Sure. I don't know what well.
Oh, yeah.
Like
did I think that was
Burt Gordon.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it had Basil Rathbone in it.
Yes, it did.
That's unrecognizable, folks.
Basil.
I'm sorry.
Basil.
Are you taking back the
Basil? I always say it wrong. Now I don't know how to say it right.
Basil is isn't that the herb?
Basil?
It's not like the herb. So it's basil.
I know multiple basils, but believe it or not. And they pronounce their name the two different ways. Basil and basil. So you just have to remember.
I think basil was the way you say his name.
That's the way I always would say it.
Because he said basil. So somebody wrote in. I can't remember who it was, and they said basil's an herb. Basil is the guy. Wow. I was like, you're right.
Well, Chad would disagree because he doesn't like Mumsy, Nanny, Sonny, and Girly, which I think is fabulous. So we could all agree
each their
and
own, right?
disagree. Yeah. Like Jeff said, we all have different
Well,
things to
we
watch
all
and
have
talk
different
about.
tastes, etc. You know what? We have one feedback, and I'm just going to read it if that's okay with you.
Okay.
All right.
Absolutely.
Episode 29, The Flesh Eaters. And we used to hear quite a bit from Sound of Silence, KAU. The German mad scientist, I always get it mixed up with Cameron Mitchell. Both actors played that sinister look well. I watched the version with the flashback scene when he's talking about the Nazis in the 40s. It's interesting how they use hypnosis and how the people would jump in the pool of acid, sort of like MK Ultra mind control. I can't believe that movie was filmed right where I live, near Rhode Island. The scenes of the beatnik always bothered me. It is so evil.
Yeah.
They don't treat him very nice. That's for
No.
sure. Yes,
Yeah.
it is considered one of the first gore films, but The Brain That Wouldn't Die beat it by 2 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Brain
that's
that wouldn't die.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great one. If you see the unedited
Classic.
version, it's got some shocking gore in it.
Have we done that one?
That's the
And
one where
then-
the guy, his
Yes, we did.
fiance loses her head, and she's
Yeah.
just like a head on the table.
And I remember,
Oh,
I remember
that's a
Whitney
good job.
laughing because she said it was like he was carrying a football and he
Yeah.
was running back to the lab.
Yeah.
And his final comment, this film, it's awful that it took 2 years before it got released. I agree.
Mm.
I think filmed in 61, released in 63. Was that it? Or 62 and 64? Appreciate it, Sound of Science. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, welcome back.
We love our feedback, folks. So please send us feedback. You can do so on the Gruesome Magazine YouTube channel. Just make a comment on the episode, or you can send an email to feedback@gruesomemagazine.com, or you can leave comments on Gruesome Magazine's H&R and DOH podcast Facebook group, or even the website at gruesomemagazine.com.
Yep.
That's it for this episode, but every 2 weeks we'll be focusing on a specific film released between 1920 and 1969. Next up, chosen by moi, is The Mystery of the Wax Museum,
Ooh.
1933, which has lots of fun stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah. I
Directed
love
by
that.
Michael Curtiz,
Yeah.
starring Lionel Atwill, Fay Ray, and Glenda Farrell.
Ooh.
Now,
Cool.
my first pick was going to be Dr. X, but the only place I could find it was on a Russian website. And I didn't want to ask all you guys to stream something from a Russian website. So although I read a whole bunch of places on the internet that it's safe, they've been using it for years, but I'm not sure they know how they know it could be safe. So I don't know.
So you're on a 2-strip Technicolor kick, okay?
That's right.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about that, and we'll talk afterwards.
Okay.
We'll talk afterwards. So yeah, I am so thrilled about that. And you know, this movie, when I was buying it or looking to stream it for the very first time, I was pissed as hell because everything I looked at looked like color. And I thought, Jesus, there has to be a non-colorized version. Well, it was shot this way, dummy.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Anyway, so stay tuned for that. Catch us again here in 2 weeks for another great horror movie of the classic era, as only decades of horror can do it. Thank you, Bill, Daphne, Doc, and good night, Mr. Hunt, wherever you are.
Yes.
Thanks to our group believers, and let's say good night.
Night, everybody.
Good night,
everybody.
Gruesome Magazine.